Hello guys, welcome to Cisco with Aman Soni, and in today's lecture we are going to talk about classful and classless routing protocols. So guys, when we study networking, when we study CCNA particularly, and we move on to CCNP also, we study a lot of routing protocols. We study RIP, EIGRP, OSPF. So guys, whenever you study a protocol, you will come across the term classful and classless routing protocol. For example, when we are studying EIGRP, you will study that EIGRP is a class-full routing protocol by default. When we study OSPF, they say that OSPF is classless routing protocol. So what is the meaning of classful and classless? So probably you should know before this video that what is routing protocol, basic of EIGRP, basic of OSPF. So all the links are in description about EIGRP, OSPF, and also about you should familiar with classes of IP addresses, that what is class A, what is class B, what is class C. So if you don't know the classes of IP address, you will not be knowing that what is a classful and classless. So if we talk about classful means when the routing protocol will behave according to the class boundary. When we say classless, it means that the particular IP or network is not following the class boundary. But it is not particularly true about the routing protocol. For example, if I am writing 14.110/24, so if I'll ask you what is it a class full routing protocol, or sorry, not routing protocol, if it is a class full IP or subnet, or it is classless, then your answer should be that it is a classless. Why classless? Because as you can see, it is starting with 14 and it belongs to class A. So if it belongs to class A, it should be having the default subnet mask of /8, meaning 255.0.0.0. But right now it is not using that. It is using instead /24, which is 255.255.255.0. So it is not following the class boundaries, which was predestined for this IP address. So that is why this is a classless. So we can say if we're using this subnet, for example, we have 14.110 subnet running in between two routers. So you will say that we are using classless network, classless IP. So if we are using classful networks and classless networks, for example, if in a network we have like something like this is a class full because it is following the class boundaries. So if we have classless networks in our network topology, we have 4 routers, we have a lot of classless networks. Then what is the meaning that when EIGRP is running, and what is the meaning when OSPF is running? What is the meaning of classful and classless? So first thing that you should be knowing that classes of IP address. So guys, this I am just making as a checkpoint for you guys. If you know well enough, you'll be good. If you don't know, if you have any doubts, you have to watch the video, or if you have some notes, revise that. Okay, particularly just like take a glimpse of the video. If you're good, then it's all gonna be okay. So classes of IP address, you should know basics of EIGRP. What I mean by basic, I don't want that okay you know the full form EIGRP and OSPF. No, you should be good familiar with how to configure basic EIGRP on 3-4 routers, how to configure the OSPF protocol on 3-4 routers. Okay, I don't want to be an expert on OSPF areas, area 0, backbone area, virtual link. No, just be basic OSPF guy. Okay, so and basic EIGRP. So let's begin, because in our lab we're going to use these two protocols to study that what is the main difference of classful and classless routing protocol. And let me be frank with you guys, 90% of the people I'll ask what is classful network, what is classless, they will give a simple straightforward answer. Classful routing protocol are the routing protocol which by default support classful. Meaning what? If I'm using EIGRP, it should supposed to be support only this by default. The commands to make EIGRP classless, but by default I am not doing any additional command. I'm running just pure basic EIGRP. So it means then when I'm using this network, then EIGRP should not even show this network as it is. It should not show this as 14.1.1/24. What it will do instead, it should convert it to class full. What EIGRP should do, it should show that I am receiving a network from my neighbor and this is 14 000/8. They say this is what we mean by classful, meaning what? EIGRP is classful, it will not support classless networks, which, my friends, is perfectly not true. Okay, so if it would have been this simple, I might not even was here making the video. It is not as simple as it sounds. That's why I told you that classful means the IP address, the networks that support the boundary, but classless means which doesn't support the boundary, meaning what? Like this one. But the same is not true for the routing protocols. So you should know EIGRP, OSPF, you should know the classes of the IP addresses, and by default let me write you the true statement that we are going to see in the practical. So EIGRP is by default classful. Okay, so don't make any assumptions. Do not say that EIGRP is classful. It supports only classful. Never ever say it. It is not true at all. So OSPF is by default classless and will remain classless. Okay, so what is the meaning of these statements? I'll show you what this statement means in our old friend EIGRP in GNS, and OSPF statement in our GNS topology. So this is our similar topology that I used for OSPF video also. So but instead you have to take care of one very small thing. We are today not going to use the 7200 router, we are going to use 3725 router. If you want, you can use any other GNS iOS image also, like 1700, 2600, but they are a little buggy, so I will suggest that you should use 3725. Also, I'll be putting the iOS image and description, so you just have to go there, click and download the image, and you have to set it up on GNS. Okay, if you just download it, is not going to run magically on the GNS. You have to go to edit, preference, do some stuff. If you are good at that stuff, it's perfect. If you don't know, watch the video. Simple as that. I'll put that also, GNS how to set up. So it is a checkpoint for you and a checkpoint for me too, because I have to put these links in the description for you guys. So let's begin. Let's not kill the time. So guys, this is our simple topology, just like before, and just like all the rest of the videos, I have the config with me right now, and I'm going to talk about each and every line, and here I'm going to make the notes on the go, and I will put in the description for you to download. So simple thing right now guys, I have stopped all the routers. There is no config, nothing. I've just used this tool to just put the names of the network. If you click here, for example, I'm going to use EIGRP 100 everywhere, and like OSPF, just like small key points, I want to just like remind you, if you're using OSPF, we can do OSPF 100, OSPF 200, 300, OSPF 400, or we can keep them same. It does not make any difference. But in EIGRP, if you do EIGRP 100 here and if you do EIGRP 200 here, it is going to be different, not disastrous. It is going to be different. So let me just show you. For example, you just go in there and you just say, I want to run simple old EIGRP 100. Then it will say, good, I'll be running EIGRP 100. But if you say, I want to run EIGRP 200, for example, on the rest of 3 routers, so what is going to happen? Immediately you have made 2 different autonomous systems. You have made 2 different kind of areas, not exactly areas, okay, but it is going to be similar to areas. So let's remove this to the picture. So guys, just let me yeah, if you're saying that I'm using EIGRP 100, 200, it will be like this. The routes of EIGRP 100 will not go to EIGRP 200 because they are in different, completely different autonomous system. Okay, so it is just like OSPF. Areas. In OSPF we have concept of areas, in EIGRP we have the concept of autonomous system. So let's delete this guy. Let's delete this, because we are going to use EIGRP 100 in all our topology. because we don't want to make this complex. So it is like this, simple. I'm using EIGRP 100 everywhere. Let's talk about the IPs. Here we have 12.1.1.1, here we have 12.1.1.2, and similarly we have rest of the way. I'll just duplicate, and I'll sometimes GNS buggers me off if you can duplicate, so no worries. Let's do the manual work here. We have 12.1.1. Okay, so you might say that dude, it is quite obvious, but there might be few people watching the video who are new to networking, and I would rather keep things simple. So that's how it is, and for the old guys who are expert, please bear with me. So we have these network running. Just a quick question for you guys: all these networks, what are they? Are they classful or are they classless? Take your time. Yes, I can't hear you, but I hope some of you guys have given right answer. All of these are classless because they belong to class A. They were supposed to use /8, but all of them are using /24, which is not the class A default subnet mask. So guys, just let me show you. According to config, I have to make one small change because I was doing some testing prior, because GNS can hamper, GNS sometimes can do weird stuff. So on R1 we have the loopback also just for testing, and we have 12.1.1, and all of these network are classless. And what our task is, these are classless. By default EIGRP is classfull, and we are going to run basic EIGRP everywhere on R1, R2, R3, R4, and then we're going to jump to R4, and we are going to take a look at what R4, like what the routes look like. Is it really showing them? Does it not show at all, or it will show in some weird manner? So the statement is EIGRP is classfull routing protocol by default, and we are going to dig deep into that statement. So let's start. So let me show you the config. So guys, on R1 we are going to see on every router R1, R2, R3, R4 I have put same EIGRP config to keep things simple. Router EIGRP 100, network 0000. This is might not be the ideal command. Why? Because this command will run EIGRP on all your interfaces. So right now in this topology we want that. We want EIGRP to run on every interface. What if you have a scenario like this that might be like you watch all these videos, you become expert, and then you want to do some different stuff. What kind of different stuff? R1 is in EIGRP and this guy is in OSPF. When two different routing protocols, first of all they will not communicate, but if you want, you can make them communicate with the help of something known as redistribution. Imagine you are doing right now, you are not supposed to know redistribution if you know well enough. So if you're using an topology and demo of redistribution, then my friends, you should not do this command at all, because R1, this guy is not in EIGRP. We want this guy in OSPF. Then only OSPF neighborship will form between this guy and this guy. So then we will not do this command on R1. In such case, we will manually say, or let's put the loopback aside. On here, in such case, we will manually say that, dude, I want to run EIGRP on this interface. Okay, so that's why I said you have to be good in EIGRP basics. So for that, what is this? This is wildcard mask. If you don't know what is wildcard mask, how it works, go watch the OSPF video. I have explained it in there. Go watch the EIGRP as well. So this guy says, I'm going to run EIGRP on exactly this interface, not on this interface. Then again, you will manually do router OSPF, and then you will run manually OSPF on this interface. But what you will not do, you will not do network 00 command, because if I do that, then EIGRP will start running on this and this interface immediately. So let's cut out these guys. Okay, so in this case we don't have any such scenario, so we are free to use the network 00 command. And then what do we have? Simple, we'll go to the interfaces, we'll assign the IP. So if you are doing the same thing, you are practicing from the video and you want to do the similar stuff, that I'll do the config first and I'll copy the config from the notepad to router. So do it like this. Interface F00, we have 12.1.1.1, perfect. We have a loopback 1 ready. Do we have any other interface? No, we don't. Okay, then you go to R2 and then you'll do the similar thing. You will check all your IPs. You'll say 12.1.1.2, perfect. We have 12.1.1.2 here, 12.1.2.1. We have 12.1.2.1 on this F10. Then you'll do the same thing for R3 on F10. In here, just a minute, and in here R3 F10 I have 12.1.1.2, perfect. Here I have 14.1.3.1, perfect. In here last we have only one interface, 14.1.3.2, that's it, no loop back, nothing else. So our config right now is absolutely flawless. So let's just copy it one by one, but prior to that, simple old stuff, we have to turn on GNS3 routers. And I would advise, as always, turn them on one by one, because let me show you, even if you turn on one, CPU will go skyrocket. Now let's keep this little guy here. I think you can see the small bar here. Let's start the little guys, R3. Because 3725 little old, might take some time, and I can even listen to the CPU sound increasing up because it is going to touch the roof. 100, it will sometimes it will stuck in 100. If just, and see, just like be patient with it, don't do any stuff, don't open Facebook, don't open WhatsApp or anything else on your laptop or PC. Just give it some time, wait for this guy if it comes to finish it up. Because see, it doesn't matter if you have HP, Dell, Mac, or even if you have Alienware, it will go like this. It don't care about laptop, it don't care about your CPU, you are i3 guy or you are i7, it will go 100%. So you have to wait for it to come down. If it is not coming down, then take the CLI. Yes, because sometimes if you take the CLI of all these routers, then it will automatically come down. Then even after that, in 1% case it might not even go down. Then you have to do your special weapon, which is right click on the router and set up the idle PC manually. So this was R1. Let's take R2. Okay, so let's just see if CLI running fine or not. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, looks good. And if you open your task manager, you will see that slowly it will come down. Okay, because I have some other apps, I have recording running on, so 80 or 70 is for me is enough. And see, it is still lowering down. If it is more than 90, then we have to worry about. So we just have to copy paste and be careful with that. Do not paste the commands of R1 on some other router. So let's copy little guy and take it to R1. Just paste it, working fine. Let's take the R2, Control C, paste it. On secure CRT, your right click will do the paste. So I'll see all the videos. If you might say that okay, it is a little hard for me to understand, but I want to know what is classful, classless. Do watch all the videos in the sequence that I'm giving in the description. Okay, then you will be good to go. At the end of this video, you will be master in classful, classless routing protocols terms. Okay, you will not master EIGRP, OSPF. You will be able to clearly distinguish what is classful, classless. Okay, so give it some time. EIGRP hellos will pass on, EIGRP neighborship will be formed. They will give the routes, best route will move to routing table, and then we'll be having the routes. And okay, we have neighborship coming up here, neighborship coming up, all good. just like OSPF, the few commands show IP EIGRP interface. I want to see that on which interface EIGRP is running. So show IP in EIGRP interface. Okay, on my interface EIGRP is running. Perfect. Let's see on the R3 I have two interface, F10 and F20. Okay, show IP EIGRP interface. So yep, it is running on F10, 20 perfectly fine. So on last guy, do I have my neighbor up and running? Yes, I have. My neighbor is up. So then I will be having the routes. So drum roll guys, we are going to see how the routes are coming. So first of all, if you are good in EIGRP, OSPF, if you know these stuff, I want your answer. So also comment me that was your answer was right or it was wrong, because it will help other guys to see like, okay, what other people think. So my first of all, what is my question? How the 12.xxx, like whatever, all the 12 routes networks will look like on R4. And guys, I dare you that 95% of the people will give the answer wrong. So option number one, that they will not come. Simple as that, they will not come. Why they're not coming? Because EIGRP is classful by default, and I'm using classless everywhere, so they will not come at all. Okay, option number two, they will come as 12.1.0x, all of them. Meaning what? It is classless. Yes, I have classless networks, so I'm going to summarize all of them into classful, and I will show you. Because you are running routing protocol, I have my neighbor, he will tell me some routes, and I don't want that. Okay, I don't want the routes. Okay, go, screw you. No, what I'll do, I'll take them and I will summarize. Because I'm a classful, I'm going to follow according to my rules. Okay, so is it like this? I don't know, just asking. Third, they will come exactly like they are. Let's see a weird possibility. Okay, we are running out of space, so now you can't even make me move it. This DNS is crazy, man. I think I have to update or something. Okay, so third option is they will come like this. They will come like 12.1.1.0/24. They will come like 12.1.2.0/24. They will come like 12.1.10.0/24. They will come like 12. Okay, we don't have any other 12 left. So they will come like as it is. This is a weird possibility, but it is the option. We don't have any other option. Okay, it will either come like this, either it will come exactly, or either they will not come at all. Okay, so choose your answer and let's see. And then I'm going to explain you why it is coming like this, and why you was wrong, and why, like, if somebody of you like were right, please explain that you were right and you knew this concept. Okay, I'll be happy. I'll be more than happy. Show IP route. If I do that, I'll see all the routes. If I do this, I'll see only EIGRP routes. So right now, guys, what is happening? I am seeing only 12.0.0.0/8. So what was the right answer? So I have to write somewhere. Okay, I'm not writing all the stuff. Just like keep a note. If I'm using this networks, then my result is this. Or let me do one thing. For you guys, I will save it. So this was my config. I'm running EIGRP 100 default. And what was my answer? So my answer was this. Now, what was the reason behind it? The reason behind it, you might say that I am a class full guy. Whatever my neighbor will give, I'll take it and I will convert into 12.0.0.0/8. You might say that this explanation make good sense. This explanation make perfect sense. But sorry to bother to you guys are wrong. This is not the explanation. Okay, let me just save this guy. Let me just share in your folder only. I'll save it. So this right here is my task1.png. Okay guys, so what was the reason? Okay, the reason behind it is why it is coming like this, because let me tell you what is the meaning of EIGRP is by default classful. What is the meaning of this? So guys, it means that EIGRP by default will only support contiguous networks. For discontigious network, they will be summarized. Okay, so you might be confused first of all, like you'll say what are contiguous and what are discontinuous networks. So I'll explain it just in a minute. Right now, simple stuff. Classful means I will support only contiguous networks. I will support only continuous, the networks which are in continuation. They are contiguous, not the discontinuity or discontigious networks. So the question is, what are contiguous and what are discontigious? So let me give you an example. Here we have 12 this network. They belong to class A. Yes. Okay, what is the first octet of all of them? So right there we have 12. 1. Okay, the first octet is 12. Perfect. Then we have another 12. Perfect. Then we have 12 1 again. So we have a continuity. Okay, let me just put it here. From here we'll start till here. We have a continuity going on. They are a contiguous networks till here, but as soon as they will come here, the continuity will break because class A part is different. It is not contiguous anymore. So on R4, now simple as that, when the routes come here, you will ask yourself that when the routes are coming, are they all contiguous or are they discontinuous? Simple. All of them coming in this way is not contiguous at all. The order, I'm not asking about 2 or 3 or 1, no. The order, the whole sequence is discontinuous. And what does our rule says? Our rule says that for discontinuous networks, they will be summarized. So that's what I am doing. Meaning what? Example. So it's an example of summarization done when you have discontinuous networks. So the routes were coming 12.1.10, 12.1.20, 12.1.10, if I'm not wrong, 12.1.2, yeah, perfect. So what I will do, summarize all 3 into 1, and I'll make it 12.0.0.0/8. So, and yes, the important part, it was like this. So guys, see, you have to be simple. You have to stick to the basics, and this is the very basics that 90% of the people don't know. They're good in EIGRP, they're good in OSPF, they know all the commands, config, they have made 10, 20, 50 routers topology. But if you ask them that what is classful, they will say that classful means it supports classful. That's it. No, it supports contiguous. It supports continuation of networks. If there is no continuation, I am going to screw them up. I am going to take all of them and summarize into one network. Okay guys, so what if in some scenario you might, it's rare, okay, you might end up getting contiguous networks? Then what will happen? So if they end up being contiguous, then some very weird thing is going to happen. Let me show you. So first of all, how to make them continuous? I told you, whatever their main octet of the class, make that octet same on all of them. Okay, I am talking about the octet, the main octet of the class. to all of them where they came from. Okay, not the subnet mask, not the network, no. So I'm going to make 12.1.1. okay, so 12.1.1 is here, so I'm not going to make 12.1.1 here. No, I'm not going to make 12.1.1 here, no, because then there'll be same network. What I'll say, here we have 12, here we have 12, perfect, because originally they were from class A. In here we have 12, perfect. But here do we have 12? No. So simple, let's change this guy, let's make it 12. So now right now what do we have? We have continuity, pardon me, we have contiguous networks. So guys, just take a look. See, I am like excited, dude. Why? Because this is one of my favorite topics, like, because this is so amazing. When I learned that this thing years back, my jaw dropped. I was like, what the hell is this? How is this even possible? If you open your books, if you go online, it is written that Classfull routing protocol means that I'll support only Classfull by default, but it is wrong. In here all these are classless, right? Yes, they are classless, but EIGRP will support all of them. It will show them as it is. Why? Because they are contiguous network. Because Classfull means I will respect contiguous network. I will show them as it is. So let me show you. So guys, we just have to make tiny bit of change. What tiny bit of change? We just have to make the IP here. It was 14, right? It was 14.131, and here it was 14.132. So just small change and then we'll be good to go. So we'll make this guy 12.131 and the other guy 12.132. So we have already only made changes to two routers, and just copy this config back to R3, and it will override all the previous config, including our brand new IP addresses. And let's copy the R4 and paste it. And just like when you're doing this yourself, just confirm also that whatever changes you have made in topology are reflected. We have 12.122 here and we have 12.131 here. Yes, it is just like that. On the last guy it should be 12.132. So we have 12.132 here. So everything is perfect. So guys, again, drum rolls. If you'll ask, okay, go out there, ask your colleagues, ask your students, ask your friends, ask your mentors, ask your teachers that I have a scenario like this and I'm going to R4 and I'm running this EIGRP. Pardon my excitement. I'm running this guy everywhere. Then tell me how the 12 routes, all the 12 routes will look like on R4. Either they should not come, or either they should be summarized in all of them, or they should be come as it is, like this. So comment me, comment what your friends, your networks, your colleagues says. And what does the rule say? The rule says I'm EIGRP by default Classfull, which in plain English means I will support only contiguous networks. Meaning, if contiguous networks will come at the end router, I will show all of them as it is because I respect them. So let's see whether this thing is true. All our hypotheses show IP route EIGRP. So as you can see that I have 12.110, 12.120. Okay, my loopback. Why my loopback is not coming? Is my loopback not there? Let's wait for a few seconds. Okay, let's move on to R2. Show IP route. Yeah, okay, my routes are coming. All my routes are there. 12.1. Okay, something is wrong with this guy. My loopback is not coming for some reason, but let me show you. We have 12.1.0. Let's see if all the rest of the routes are there or not. Okay, see, all the routes are coming. Okay, and what about like loopback? I think loopback is giving us some issue. Let me just check that for you. Show IP and see again. Okay, let's do the troubleshooting. So let's do troubleshoot with me. So how you will check? First you will check on my loopback, is EIGRP running or not. You will say show IP EIGRP interface brief. Oh my bad, not brief, show IP EIGRP interface. So in here guys, this is showing that I don't have EIGRP running. Let's move on to R2. Show IP EIGRP interface. Perfect. Meaning what? That we might have something like the commands should not be there because we might have messed up something, but we did the commands right. So show run, this command will show you that you have done that. We have done we have done this. Okay, so we find out that remember the thing where while I was explaining you guys, I did 12.1.1.0. I was showing you that why you should not use network 0.0.0. Remember that task that I just connected the OSPF router and I said you should not do this? That is the reason. So that's how you will troubleshoot. Okay, so it was good thing end of the day that this issue happened, because you will learn like this. You made a mistake, then troubleshoot it in the sequential way. You will check, I don't have EIGRP running. Why I don't have EIGRP running? Because I gave this command 12.1.1.0 manually. So we will simply remove it and we will give our old command that I want to run EIGRP on all of my interfaces. So I'll simply copy it, paste it, and immediately you can see my neighbor is coming up. You will go to R2. Perfectly, neighborship is there, and if you go to the last guy out there and if you check, you will see the only missing route coming here. So again, back to our excited part, that if we have the continuation, if we have the continuous network 12.1 or not 1, just 12, okay, 12, then doesn't matter if I am EIGRP by default or if I am OSPF or whatever, because I will support it. Because let me show you the meaning of Classfull, that I will support contiguous networks. And if you just go in there and if you make this guy 14.1 or whatever, if you will make it whatever it non-12, you'll make it 13 dot something, then immediately all the routes are going to be summarized into a single route. If you want, I can show you this once again. Okay, so just to prove you that this really happens, the rule really works like this. So we'll not use 213, we'll use 13.1.1.1 here and 13.1.1.2 here. So let's go in there and we are going to use 13.1.1.1. As you can see on F20, I have made the change. And on the other guy, I am going to use 13.1. Let's take 13.1.1.2, simple. And again, just carefully copy all this. R3, go to R3, just paste it. Just check your IP 13.1.1.1, fine. Go to R4, copy the exact config. And if you by mistake copy the wrong one, by mistake you just copy the wrong one, some big config or whatever, then just right click, stop the router and start it again, because you haven't saved the config, everything will be blank and you can again paste the correct ones. So what we have done, we have just changed the IP address and this changed the whole story. Now there is no continuity. EIGRP will say these are not contiguous network, they are discontigious. And what will I do with discontigious network? I will take them and I will summarize into one. So it will do the same thing. Show IP route. I don't know what is 12.1, 12.1.2, 12.1.10. I don't know. I have no idea, because I do not respect discontigious networks. Meaning what? I will not support them. Why? Because I am classful. That's how classful routing protocol works. So EIGRP is by default classful. Okay, so another question, is there a way to make EIGRP and make it classless? But first of all, before that, you have to know the meaning, the exact true meaning, not the myth going on out there that what is classless routing protocols. So classless routing protocols are the smart ones. They will support both contiguous and discontigious network. They will support both of them. So it doesn't matter if you are contiguous, discontinuous, whatever. I will show you as it is. And who is classless? OSPF is pure classless. So in this scenario, if I run OSPF on all the router, doesn't matter I have 12, 13, 14, whatever. I will show you as it is. But there is a way to make EIGRP act as classless also. It's quite simple. Yes, you have to turn off summarization. Now the question is, how the hell I'm going to do that? It's quite simple. Just go to the routing protocol, router or whatever. In our case, we are running EIGRP 100, and you have to do this everywhere. Okay, because then it will be perfect. You have to just say no auto summarization, because then you will say that I'm converting EIGRP into classless, and classless means I'm going to support contiguous and discontinuous, both of them. So right now it is classful. Okay, let me summarize you the whole thing. We are doing this topology. Right now it is classless everywhere, but it is discontigious, which EIGRP will not support because it is classful. Classful supports only contiguous. This is discontinuous. We have to do no auto summary on every router to make it classless, to make it support discontinuous networks. So let's go to R1. So before that, right now it is saying screw you, I am not going to show all of you, I am going to summarize because I don't respect you guys, I don't respect discontinuous. So you'll say we know the trick, now we are better than you EIGRP, we are going to change the hell out of you. No auto summary. Poof. Router EIGRP 100. No auto summary. Perfect. Router EIGRP 100. No auto summary. Even on this one. Remember, you might not need on few, because you might say I'm okay, why do I need, I'm already receiving, but keep things simple, do it everywhere. Give it a few seconds. Whenever you make some change, it will break the EIGRP neighborship and it will reform it. So show IP route. Now that is contiguous, but we have converted EIGRP into classless, and it will show all of them, even though that's how it looks. Okay, so this is the whole story. If you have any confusion, any doubts or anything, just comment me. Okay, so I'm going to reach out to you and we're going to work on this, and I'm going to clear your concepts of classful and classless routing protocol once and for all. Okay guys, and another thing, do this exact thing. Let me just save the second task for you guys. This was our task 1. Okay, you know already the answer of this. Let me save it for you guys. Because this is the discontinuous one. Contiguous ones we have saved, and the answer for this one was this. Because EIGRP by default support okay, this is again discontinuation, my bad. So let me show task 1. This is discontinuous, same as that. So let me just make few changes so that I can prepare your slide for you guys. I don't want to save this little guy. I want to save 12130. Okay, So if you do it like this, then what will the answer? The answer will immediately change. Okay, if we are using 13, I will not show you. If you want to see all of them, you have to give no auto summary. But if I'm using continuation, then you don't have to use no auto summary. It will show you just the way they are already. So I'm putting the results for you guys so that you will do these tasks, do this config, and match out your routes. So this is the answer. So this was our task 2. Now, do we have a task 3? Yes, we do have a task 3. So task 3 for you guys, you have to do the same thing with OSPF. Okay, so you already, if you have watched the whole lecture, you already know OSPF says I am the boss. I don't care if you do 12 12 12 or if you do 12 12 13 12 12, whatever you throw at me, I will show you as it is. But do the task and check how it looks like. Okay, because OSPF by default is classless, meaning what? You don't even need to convert it. Router OSPF 100, that's how you go to OSPF. Now in EIGRP, to convert it into classless, you will say no auto summary. But if you do here, and if I do the command, if I enter, it will say no such command exists. But we have done the same command in EIGRP, because EIGRP you can convert into classless, but OSPF is already classless. Okay, so you don't even need to do this command. So guys, do all these tasks, even the OSPF one, just to like practice. You'll do the hands-on, you'll be perfect for future. So task 3, and for this I'm not putting the results, you have to tell me. Now one tweak, okay, one small thing. In the beginning I told you that we have to use 3725, but why the hell, why didn't I use 7200? We have 7200 already, it is running perfectly fine, it is smooth. So why did I bother putting up a different iOS image, an older iOS, like an older router? Why? Because guys, there is a tweak, there is a small thing you have to remember. It's not even a note, it is a very special note. Okay, so the note is EIGRP is by default Classfull. Perfect, you even know what the meaning of Classfull. But in some newer iOS, EIGRP works automatically as classless. Okay, so that was the reason we haven't used the 7200, because if you use 7200, doesn't matter what you do, auto summary, no auto summary, contiguous, discontinuous, it will support everything. But in newer iOS okay, so it's not like that everything gonna change. It is an good feature, it is an ease for the network engineers. Why? Because 99.9% will be having classless everywhere, so you don't have to do no auto summary everywhere. No, just do it and it will work. But for you guys, for the exam, for the knowledge, you have to know the concept of classful routing, classless routing protocols, and contiguous and discontinuous networks. So guys, hope you like the video. Just throw the comment, do all the labs. I'll put all the description, everything in the link, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Okay, do share with your other networking enthusiast friends. So Aman Zone is signing out. Go to sleep, it's 2 AM. Bye.